Hello everyone, so what we're going to cover today is creatine and what you need to know and how you can safely take it to improve your performance in the gym and day-to-day life. What we're going to cover today then is the benefits of creatine for training and sports performance, creatine use for women, what creatine to take and how much should you take and when. So a very quick overview on what creatine is. So although it's a supplement, it is actually a natural substance that's inside our body, and this gets used and turned into a thing called ATP, which provides energy for when you are performing movements in the gym. So ATP is your short energy bursts. So you think when you're doing like a set of squats, doing 8 reps, that's ATP, the energy system ATP. So creatine has a direct link to ATP. So hopefully by understanding that, you can sort of see how having a high creatine store inside your body, inside your muscles, can help your performance in the gym. All right, so that sort of sets the scene on what creatine is. But looking more into the benefits of creatine, as it says on the screen here, it can help repair the muscle post-exercise. So when you're trying to get fitter, stronger, healthier, lose weight, and we're stressing our body, creatine can really help with the recovery process, all right? It can increase the quality and benefits of high-intensity training. So again, when we're doing our sessions and we're doing some maximal sprints or some intervals on the rower, or we're performing really hard, intense squats, creatine can really help us perform these movements over a longer period of time. It's also been shown to improve endurance in aerobic exercises. So what aerobic means is, as it says there, anything over like 2.5, 3 minutes, you start going into aerobic energy systems, and creatine supplementation can really help with that. So if you're going on a run, if you're into running, if you're into jiu-jitsu, MMA, into just going to the gym, as long as you're in the gym exercising for more than 2 minutes, this creatine will have a positive effect on that. Finally, it can improve your strength, power, fat-free mass, and your daily living performance, as well as neurological function. So what that means is the brain. Creatine and the research around creatine's shown to improve brain function. So when you're in your day-to-day life with work and looking after the kids and working out sums in work, or whatever it is you're doing with your brain's working at a high capacity, creatine's been shown to help with that, all right? So, and another one for sports performance here is the strength, power, and fat-free mass. Every single athlete in the world, in 99% of sports, could do with more strength, more power, and more fat-free mass, which is basically muscle. And creatine is a really good supplement to help us along the way, all right? The key point here is it needs to be in conjunction with your strength training, which everyone who is watching this video does, whether it be with my one-to-one coaching or Elevate Performance Gym. So as long as you are performing a good strength program, you will see improvements in your strength, power, and fat-free mass whilst taking creatine, okay? So, as it says in the bottom there, additionally, research has shown creatine to have a positive effect on sleep, depression, and also memory function. So, creatine is one of the most well-researched supplements in the world, and there is a lot of research showing the benefits on not just your physical performance, but also your mental performance. I won't go into that too much today, but it is worth noting that it has been shown to improve depression and memory function. So, touching on a common theme with creatine in the theme of possible weight gain. This is something that when I was younger, I always used to think myself when I was in my early 20s. I used to think, because I wasn't a particularly thin lad, and I always used to think, oh, I don't want to take creatine because I don't want to get puffy. I don't want to have loads of water retention in my face and around my muscles. And it sort of kept me away from it for a while, to be honest. And only the last 3 or 4 years, obviously, since I've been researching a lot more, I've actually seen like the scientific evidence and around this topic. So possible weight gain is common when you're taking creatine, but I'm just going to run through now the likelihood of what that weight is, okay? It's not necessarily water retention, which is what we think, all right? So first thing is, the scales may go up due to an increase in muscle mass. So if we're trying to improve our muscle and we're trying to get stronger, fitter, healthier, and build muscle mass, the weight might go up because we've built muscle in conjunction with our nutrition, in conjunction with our strength program, in conjunction with our creatine intake. We might actually be gaining muscle, so the weight is going to go up. That is normal, so that is completely fine. Also, as it says there, with a balanced, controlled nutritional plan, so your calories and protein, which everyone who works with me does do or has the opportunity to do this, you will see small, slow increases, all right? So if you are going to see weight gain from creatine, it won't just be a case of you take it for 2 weeks and you put on a stone. That will be because you're eating too much. Like many things with this, the thing that we think impacts our weight gain or fat gain isn't actually that. It's the fact that we're eating the 6 Krispy Kreme donuts over a weekend, and I am the biggest advocate for this, as in, I eat a little bit of rubbish on the weekend and whatever, but I'm fully aware that that's what's gaining me my weight and my fat. It's not the creatine, okay? It'd be easy for me to go, oh, I'm gaining fat because I'm eating it, I'm taking creatine. In reality, it's because I'm having six Krispy Kremes on the weekend and loads of chocolate with my missus. That's the reality, all right? So if you have a really good nutritional plan, you're hitting your calories, you hit your protein, yeah, of course, we have a couple of donuts here and there, we have a couple of drinks here and there, but everything's controlled. You will not see massive weight gain, okay? If you are seeing massive weight gain, it's because you're eating too much, like many things with fat loss, all right? So this is the topic now that I want to talk about, the water retention. So there's plenty of water around our body, okay? And inside the muscles, there's loads of water. So what's common is when you're taking creatine and your creatine stores are full, you'll hold more water inside the muscle. So what you've got to think, water retention is above the muscle, and water inside the muscle isn't classed as water retention, because water inside the muscle would actually make you look leaner if you think about it. If the muscle is fuller and is pushing more towards the skin, you would look leaner and more athletic, okay? So by putting water inside the muscles, this is a positive thing for the way you look, all right? What potentially isn't maybe so positive is when it's water retention on top of the muscles, okay? And this may affect people differently, but it's may be common to have a little bit of water retention of creatine, but it'll be very minor, okay? So the water sat on top of the muscle will be very minor. It's not what we vision inside our head where our face blows up and we get a belly and we just hold loads of water. That will not happen. As it says there, it may affect people differently. So you may be the 1 in a billion person that this happens to, just like the person who maybe is allergic to this mad one specific thing that if they touch that, they end up ballooning up. That may be you. We don't know. You won't know till you've tried it. But 99.9% of people won't balloon up in weight. All right, that is a little bit of a myth in terms of water retention. Okay, so the only way to sort of know that is by trying it, doing it properly with a controlled diet, and then we can see how it affects your body. Okay. So quite an interesting topic then, looking at creatine supplementation for women. So gents, if you're not too interested in this, skip past it. If you are, then carry on listening. So all this information here is a direct extract from the paper by Smith and Ryan et al. In 2001. So this is all from a research paper. So it should be very good information for yourselves, all right? So as it says here, as a result of changes in creatine homeostasis across the life cycle, particularly as it relates to estrogen, creatine supplementation appears to provide many potential benefits for females, all right? So the big thing here is it can help you retain muscle and bone density, particularly in post-menopausal females, all right? So as the female body gets older, it gets harder to maintain your muscle mass and your bone density, which in turn maybe puts you into the type of shape that you don't want to be going into your 40s, into your 50s, okay? So creatine can really benefit you, it benefit you by maintaining your muscle mass and your bone density, all right? It can help with sleep, mood, and cognitive function in the brain. So this is another one for females. It's been shown to help with your sleep and mood. And again, with females, it improves overall strength when combined with the gym program. All right, so nothing too dissimilar to what it does for the males, but this is the particularly interesting bit that I found really interesting, and you may as well as a female or anyone who's been pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant. And I thought this was really interesting. So I'll just read this extraction from the paper, and it says, increased metabolic demand from growth and development during gestation, particularly from the placenta, has been associated with a reduced creatine pool. Recent human data suggest a dramatic alteration in creatine homeostasis during pregnancy, and a reduction in creatine stores during pregnancy have been linked with low birth weight and preterm birth. Okay, so what that's saying is, when the female body is pregnant, it loses its creatine, the ability to turn creatine into ATP and store it in the muscles. So your creatine levels drop during pregnancy, and they found that when this happens, there's a direct link between that and low birth weight. So I thought that was really interesting. So potentially what the paper is suggesting is you could supplement creatine during your pregnancy to help with this problem and keep a nice healthy birth weight, okay? So that's what the paper's found. It's worth noting here now, guys, that I am not a doctor. I am not a nutritional expert. This is based off my research and what I'm telling yourselves, okay? So if you are thinking of doing this, 100% seek medical advice from your doctor, from your midwife. And this is not me telling you to do it. This is just me presenting you the research that I have found, okay? But yeah, this looks really interesting and something I'm going to chat with Rachel about for our future Touchwood babies, because I found it really interesting. But yeah, just thought I'd give you a quick overview on that. Right, so I'm going to rattle through these next few bits, okay? I'm conscious this is quite a long one, so this is the so what now. This is the bit you need to know. What creatine to take. Most important thing is it's 100% creatine monohydrate powder. Buy from a respectable shop, and also don't pay a fortune for overpriced creatine. So if it sells you the world, it's this mad crazy creatine and it's this and it's that, you don't need that. Just get 100% creatine. On the right here is 5 different types of 100% creatine, and as you can see, it's anything from £15 to £30. If you start going over them type of prices, it's a load of rubbish and they're selling you the dream, okay? Just get 100% pure creatine from one of these shops, and that's it. Dead simple. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I have actually put a post on this on my Instagram if anyone's interested, but you do not need to have a loading phase during creatine, okay? So that is something that people recommend. You can do that and it will work, but you do not need to, okay? So I'm gonna give you the best alternative to this. You are going to take 5 grams per day for 14 days, and after this, your creatine stores will become fully saturated, all right? After this, you would then continue taking either 3 to 5 grams per day. I personally take 5, but the research has shown 3 to 5 is effective, so I just take 5 to be safe, okay? And you do that every single day, and then ideally you take it first thing in the morning, all right? After 6 to 8 weeks, you might want to have a break from it and then start it again in 2 to 3 weeks. But personally, I just run it continuously. Again, this isn't me telling you what to do. This is just my opinion based off research. I'm not a nutritionalist expert, but I continuously take 5 grams per day, and I have done for over a year now. But there is some research that says take a little week or 2 break from it and then go back to it. But personally, I just take it and I've had no adverse effects, all right? Ideally, first thing in the morning, just so you're setting up your habit. And as it says there, this sets you up for a continuous maintenance dose each day of 3 to 5 per days. Because we're not loading it, it's less likely to cause stomach upset. And then finally, loading is not essential, all right? So you may get an upset stomach off this. If you do, then it's not for you, all right? It's just a bit like if people eat certain foods, it doesn't agree with them, gives them a bit of a dodgy stomach. This can happen, all right? So if your stomach's a bit rumbly, then maybe shy away from this and chat with me. We can look for an alternative supplement. So in summary then, creatine is a really effective supplement to increase muscle mass, strength and athletic performance. No loading phase is necessary. 3 to 5 grams per day at any time is enough to keep muscle creatine stores fully saturated. And then, as it says there, research shows it can be positive for women both pre, during and post-pregnancy. But as always, seek a medical expert's advice before doing that, okay? I really strongly recommend that. And then there's the reference for the paper looking at creatine supplementation in women. Really good read, and it's really new data, so have a look at it, okay? Any questions, please just let me know. I hope this was beneficial. Thank you.